Welcome to Heal with Us, where we aim to inspire, strengthen, and empower. Now let's begin to heal. Hey y'all, I'm Toya, and I'll be investigating the business of everyday people like you and I.
Blessings. It's Dr. Nikkisha Bell-Griffin, and I'll be checking in on your heart.
I'm Tam from the Nerd's Corner. I'll be giving you fun facts that you didn't know you needed because I'm just nerdy like that.
Now that you met us, let's get in your business.
In your business.
All right, so I want to talk about the old version of you versus the new version of you. I know we kind of did this before, but I want to go a little bit different. How do you cope with the person you are today versus like how you used to be?
Um, I don't know. I guess because with time you get wiser, you learn lessons. I think that was part of the adjustment, the
Mhm.
things that you kind of collected from those lessons. Um, some people can apply them accordingly. Some people are still trying to apply them. So I guess for me, I had to learn how to um, not think so black and white. And now I'm kind of very vivid. Um, I always kind of thought that I was the center of, you know, people's mean intent or ill will.
Mhm.
And I had to realize that it's not you, it's them.
Mhm.
And it took me a long time to kind of figure that out. So um, it also took me a long time to figure out that if it doesn't matter if people don't understand you.
Mhm.
That's not. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
it's it's not a big thing, um, and you just kind of got to roll with the punches. Have duck feathers.
Mhm.
Just have duck feathers and
Mhm.
just let it roll.
Mhm.
Just let it roll off your back. But that's pretty much how I adjusted from being a kid because I was very emotional, very kind of a soft-hearted little kid, and then just going through life and things and all the stuff that surrounded me in my life, it kind of made me lose touch of that.
Mhm.
And so, with therapy, like I said, it
Mhm.
took a lot for me to understand that I can't internalize other
Yeah.
people's feelings,
Yeah,
shortcomings, what they
definitely.
direct towards me.
Mhm.
I can control how I react to it. I can control how I can tell them, no, that's
Mhm.
not what I'm going to let you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Looking at some aspects of myself, I'm still me. I still see some of the very same characteristics, passions, weaknesses, strengths that I had, growing up and maturing into an adult. My journal was definitely a tattletale. Um, I will read stuff and be like, wow, oh my
Mhm.
gosh. And then, it's funny because I'll see certain patterns
Mhm.
of dealing with stuff, and I'm like, I still handle things that
Mhm.
way. So I think in some areas it's frustrating to see that I still struggle in certain areas, like, just managing stress
Yeah.
sometimes, or like you said, kind of reacting to people or people pleasing. Like,
mm-hmm.
wait a minute, we know now that it doesn't matter what anybody else says or
Yeah.
thinks is about what I say or think. So, but still knowing I'm human and I still have to redirect myself. And
Mhm.
yeah, so, but I think on a lighter note, really trying to, and I'll kind of tag team with you when I start talking, but trying to remember the things that made me me.
Mhm.
Things that I've kind of let go of or just
Mhm.
kind of pushed to the back burner because life is life and, children, all the things. So
Mhm.
trying to tap back into that and not let that slip away.
Yeah.
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 So,
I think it's similar for me because like you said, with time, you just start to get thick skin and adjust to things. But I was definitely well, I'm not playing with you anymore, you kid.
Yeah, she
And
was.
now I think I just abruptly just cut people off. So I still kind of do that, but it's just like night and day. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't have to be mad at you. I can forgive you, but I'm never talking to you again.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think so. I still have that aspect of my like then and now, but the coping, like, I know if somebody's being mean, I don't have to like want their approval or, I really want that person to be my friend though. No, if you're mean, you're just mean and that's you, and
Right.
have fun,
Yeah.
have at it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be over here doing my thing. So, and then another area that I wanted to ask about is, what is something that you maybe used to do, but it comes out maybe around certain people from different genres of your life? Example.
Example.
Fruity toes.
What?
Oh my God.
So I had forgotten all about Fruity Toes until you said Fruity Toes the other day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. And you're
So,
the person I got it from.
yes.
Wow.
But yeah, so I was trying to explain this the Fruity Toes theory to my husband. Maybe you didn't have to be there. So Fritos, you know how some people say people toes smell like Fritos. That turned into Fruity Toes if somebody had their feet out. And then which evolved to Freeties if you shoved your foot in somebody's face. Yeah, that was Freeties. So yeah. So we had our own little, language of Fruity Toes.
Yeah.
But I had forgotten about that.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could.
Yes. But it reminded me of like how silly and fun, we were. So that's an example. Any
I mean, I think
any of
you're
those
still
moments?
silly and fun too.
Any telling moments like that? Like you get around somebody maybe that you hadn't seen in a while, maybe you forgot about something or a part of you that you used to be like, or something like that.
Mm. Mm.
This is all CA's fault.
It is. It
Thank you,
is.
CA.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a tough question. I can't think of anything.
I think for me, it's like you said, just like certain friends I'll get around, and it's just like you're back to being, youthful, and everything is just fun loving and chill, and you might remember the things that you.
Do you have anything specific like that was just like a light bulb, like, wait, I used to be like this, or I used to do this all the time?
Yes, but I'm gonna wait. That's
Oh,
part of
it's part
my
of her.
you're in
Okay.
my business. You really are in my
I know.
business
I
now
can't help
because
it.
I gotta hold on to that for my segment.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll answer. Yeah,
Okay.
in a minute.
I'm stumped because I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. The nerd is thoughtless.
Maybe because you're the person that reminds people of how they once were.
I
Like,
mean, when you talked about them strawberry shortcake sheets, girl, I was like,
Mhm.
oh yes, I forgot.
I can still smell your brush.
I know, like, oh my god.
Brush. Unfortunately,
God.
it lost its smell.
Oh,
But
mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
I still have the brush.
Mhm.
I can't. I don't. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Sorry.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will.
Thank you for letting me get in y'all business.
In your
You're
business.
welcome. Of course, of course. Hello, hello. Dr. Nikkisha Bell-Griffin again, and I want to continue. Toya was really getting in my business because I kind of want to touch on the same thing, but I'm gonna kind of rephrase the question. So I want you to think about what moments of your life or in your life have shown you the real you, whether good or bad. And to kind of answer, to piggyback on what you were asking me, so y'all know my daughter just celebrated her 18th birthday. And so in preparing her gift and stuff, like from the time she was about 4, I've always created photo books for her. So just in that moment of like we sat down and we're looking through the books and going through the memories and all of that, I just realized that I love that creative part of me,
Mm-hmm.
but that part doesn't get to show up a lot
Mm-hmm.
because I'm always, in the thick of whatever else. But it just reminded me that I need to start doing things like that more often. And also I was like, ooh, you're the only one who has these books. So, so I gotta kind of make up for the other kids
Mm-hmm.
and give them one. But yeah, but I just that moment reminded me of the creative person inside of me. And like I also said, journaling has always been something that has been something that I enjoy, not just because I love writing, but it just allows me to flesh out my feelings and just get everything out there without judgment or anything else. And I know I've been journaling probably since I was 9. It
Mm-hmm.
might be younger than that, but 9 is the age I can remember. And it's just always something that reminds me of who I am because, like I said, these are my words on paper. So
Mm-hmm.
I can go back and read something and say, oh, yeah, I remember doing that, or I remember, feeling that way, or whatever it might be. It just kind of keeps me in touch with who I am and who I want to be, and how much I've grown and areas I need to kind of like, work on. So, yeah. So, what about y'all?
Can you repeat the question?
I can. So, what moments of your life have shown you the real you? Like, really giving you a glimpse of who you are, who you aspire to keep showing up as, despite the craziness, of everyday life.
There a moment in my life that showed me who I really am. Toy, you go. I think.
She's a deep thinker.
So I think people's reaction to me,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is where I'm like, okay, so I really am like this. This really is me. Um, like I'm curious, like say nosy.
Mm-hmm.
So I do ask questions that sometimes people are like, I don't know you like that, but I'm genuinely just like trying to figure out if you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I see that a lot throughout
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah.
So yeah.
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 And I think I don't know if I always been nosy. Maybe I have since we were little. I don't know. But I do know that even as a kid, I would ask people like, well, what does your room look like? Or, how long do you take a bath? Like weird questions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
ever think of it as nosy. Just inquisitive. I found
Yeah.
your questions interesting. Like, I would never think to ask somebody that, but yeah, insightful.
I
That's the
think.
word.
Oh,
Yeah.
insightful.
Insightful
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I think to answer this difficult question, um,
So sorry.
my previous job, I think I managed the biggest group of people that I've ever
Mhm.
managed before
Mm-hmm.
being in management. Um, and I've always been told that I was a good listener. And it makes me remember sitting on the carpet in
Mm-hmm.
fourth grade
Mhm.
when the teacher would have story time. And I was so engulfed in that story
Mhm.
that she was telling, and all the other kids rolling around, swinging, fighting. And I'm like, getting mad at them.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, are y'all hearing this story?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
be
Mhm.
Right.
quiet, sister, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when the teacher would roll out the TV and
Mhm.
play
Oh
that same old
yeah.
cartoon with the
Mhm.
mouse and the cricket that played the music in
Uh-huh.
between,
Oh.
I would sit there and watch. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I would sit there and watch it. We've seen it every single
Mhm.
time they brought the TV out.
That's
I've seen
funny.
it
That
18,133
was our
times.
snow days.
Yeah.
And I would watch it from beginning to end like
Mhm.
I'd never seen it before. Everybody sleep or writing
Yeah.
notes or
Mhm.
doing whatever. And
Uh-huh.
I would just, so I would say that having managed that big team like that and for them to come to me and say, because you are a good listener,
Mhm.
um, and then and I'll, if they need uh, uh follow through or something like, I
Mhm.
would tell them,
Mm-hmm.
let me think about it. I
Mhm.
heard what you said,
Mhm.
but let me think about it before I really answer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would have to say that just knowing
Okay.
that my team really valued the fact that I was a good listener.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I guess on the, you know, dark side, I'm not saying the dark side, but not so positive side, what has moments that life showed you about yourself that, you might want to work on, or, compassionately embrace, but seek to heal or whatever. Like for me, I know it's always been like, I think about just times where I was very excited and, free, like what's the word I'm looking for? Free loving, not free loving, but just free to just, embark on whatever. And then times when I wasn't, and the times that I wasn't were times where I was just like overthinking everything, just pressuring myself. And I notice a pattern throughout my life with that, especially when I'm like transitioning to something new or different. So that's something I definitely want to work, I am working on, changing that pattern, because I've seen how it takes away just the experience of failing and being okay with failing, making mistakes and being okay with that. And I think it comes from being in school and not having teachers kind of, what's the word? Trying to find the right word for it. Not having teachers kind of like create that safe space where you're just, everybody knew, I'm not looking for a right answer. I'm not looking for a perfect picture. I'm not looking for a perfect this or that. I'm just looking for your response and what you think. And it was rarely ever that way. It was always just, I want this specific answer. And even with art, I think that might be why I don't like coloring, because it was like, your picture has to look exactly like this.
Yeah.
I can't,
Yeah.
yes, I don't want to do that. And I can't do that because I'm not artistic, not in that way anyway. So I think that kind of made me become very critical of myself, because it's like, well, I'm not producing what you're producing. And so something must be wrong with not only my product, but with me, so I still see myself carrying that into other places. So being mindful of it and trying to be more compassionate towards myself, is what I'm working on. Yeah.
What about you?
Ask me the question again so I can answer it properly. So I can answer it
same
properly.
questions. What moments in your life have shown you the real you, but not like necessarily the positive?
Oh, procrastination.
Okay.
What's that quote? Procrastination leads to eternal damnation.
Oh Lord,
I've been afraid of that my whole life.
What?
Like,
Who
oh
told
no.
you that? Oh my God, that's horrible.
Lots of teachers told me that.
That's a horrible thing to say to someone.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think, that's and it's like across the board. I don't know why, but yeah.
And I learned recently, like, procrastination and perfectionism are in the same boat together, which I never would have thought.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily wait to the last minute, but perfectionism causes you to like recreate and start over and
that's what
do
I would
things
say
like
that. So it's more of that than
okay.
Not for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't seek perfection.
Yeah, I'm definitely
just procrastinating.
right.
Like,
But they're I guess because they kind of create the same results, because
But I think because I have this long list of how it needs to be done.
Yeah.
That I don't get to the thing that needs to be done because I'm trying to perfect the list first before I can get to the thing.
Right.
So.
I guess for me, I already have the list.
Because that's your analytical part of you.
I'm
Yes.
a checker, so being that I got the list already. I
got the list.
So I'm good.
But
so you get confident in your list.
Yes. I gotta put subsets on the list and bullet points, and it's bad. It's bad.
Lord. And with me, the perfectionism is so bad that I can't even get to a list. Like I'm like, what do I do first? Like, oh my God. So just learning how to relax, like you got this, okay? Just do something, okay? Do something.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for me, it would be sharing. And let me, because I'm not stingy. So let me just explain before people start putting up their judgment flag.
Oh, Lord.
Flag on the play. No, let me explain. What I mean by sharing is myself. I kind of grew up as the only child in the house. So I didn't have to share.
Mhm.
and I didn't have to share my space, and I didn't have to share my clothes, and I didn't have to. But the darker side of that was I I I don't want to use the word hoard. I don't want to use that. I want to say
Collect.
I wouldn't want to say I don't want to say collect. Just I'm very I don't even want to say protective, but I just take I just hold on to things because
Nostalgic.
I didn't have them
Oh.
growing up. So when
Mhm.
somebody asks me, "Oh, I like that pen. Can I borrow?" I'm like,
It's
because
mine.
I didn't have luxury pens like this when I was growing up. No, I would have the pens that bled all over my hand.
Uh-huh.
Or space. That's another thing that I find that I have. I don't want to say it's an issue,
Mhm.
but on the outside for somebody looking
Mhm.
in, they would say, "Girl, you got an issue."
Mhm.
But space, meaning I'm sitting here. This is my space.
Mhm.
No,
So I can't be like,
no, that no.
Oh.
Now, if I invite you
right.
in,
I was about
Yeah.
to
I
say
have
you invite me in because when
yeah,
We can
yeah,
I
get to the
invite
okay,
you
nerds
in.
corner, yeah, so I
okay.
can't go over there.
So it's not. So that's what I mean by sharing. And
Yeah.
there's different nuggets for sharing for me.
Yeah.
Like I'll share. Like if I'm eating something. Hey, you guys want some? Not that type of sharing, but myself.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
sharing myself.
Yeah.
I have. Sorry, cameraman. I hit my. With myself, I have a problem with sharing. Like you know, just sharing.
They're
Like
my
I
thoughts
wouldn't
and
pick up the
feelings. Yeah.
phone and
Okay.
say, "Hey, Doc,
Okay.
you want I heard, they got this play going on and you want to, you know,
Mhm.
go." Or like I don't mind sharing a book. Like if it's
Mhm.
knowledge, oh,
Mhm.
I'm sharing for days because I want people to be smart. I want
Mhm.
people to be in
Mhm.
the know.
Mhm.
I want you walking around in the dark.
Mhm.
Right.
So if it's something like that,
Mhm.
I don't mind sharing. But if it's very personal and
Mhm.
a part of me,
I remember you sharing that with us before, and you kind of insinuated it's along the lines of just you not knowing if people would accept that,
yes,
because my response to you was it doesn't matter
yeah.
because if that's who you are, and those who need it will embrace it fully, and those who, it's not for them, it's not for them.
Yeah.
But I do get it because I mean it's sensitive,
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
It's
I've been shaking you up your whole life because I have no boundaries.
I
yes.
mean, just
Oh, I got your
Yeah.
jeans on. Is it okay?
yeah, sort of.
But I think you do a great job too of kind of rectifying what you lost and didn't
Mhm.
have. Like I admire you a
But I
lot for that.
overdo it.
See, and maybe that's something you don't show because from
I
what
don't.
I see somebody who's doing a great job of loving on herself. Like I mean, from your crayons and books and stuff like that, it's like this is things that nourishes me and I enjoy it, and I didn't know I goodness well I wouldn't have had it as a
Yep.
child,
Mhm.
but it's not. I see a variety of things in that little toolbox,
Yeah.
but it's not.
That
But you're
nerd
actually
bag.
utilizing it. It's actually something special to you, whereas
Mhm.
you're not just buying stuff just to have it. You know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I mean?
But it took therapy
Mhm.
for what you see now
Yeah.
for me
Mhm.
to get
It's
there
okay.
because I honestly thought before there I had a problem
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
until she explained to me that you're overcompensating for the things that you lacked.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And she said, please don't get it misconstrued with the things you didn't have
Right.
or the things you wanted. Let me
Right.
say
Mhm.
it that way. The things you wanted. You're overcompensating for the common things that you just
Yeah.
didn't
Right.
have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't have pencils. I was
Yeah.
always
Right.
that kid. Hey, can I
Mhm.
borrow a pencil?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so I explained to her, like, I feel bad sometimes because I don't want it to look as I'm covenant a lot of
Yeah.
my things
Right.
because I'm
Yeah.
not a
Mhm.
materialistic
Right.
person, but nobody understands that deep hurt inside of
Yeah.
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
of not
That neglect.
having clean clothes to have
Mhm.
Right.
or always having to get your clothes or socks or
Yeah.
whatever from the thrift store,
Right.
or it's those type of things. So
Yeah.
when somebody says, "Oh, can I borrow a shirt?" and I'm like,
Yeah. Right. Well, you know.
okay,
Yeah.
yes. And I'm
So,
very like, even with my car, like I don't mind people driving it, but it's just like, oh my God, I hope they don't do anything. I hope they don't break it. I hope they don't.
yeah.
And I'm just very protective of
Yeah.
all my things.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to come across. I'm now through therapy. I don't care what people think about how I act with
Right.
that.
Right.
But I before didn't want people to think that, oh, well, she didn't want to share her stuff, or she don't want
Right.
people to use it. It's not that. It's just that growing up not having a car.
So it's like fear of loss too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes perfect
So
sense. Yeah.
that's what I mean by sharing.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I admire your resilience because I mean, just what you have now, you know, you take very good care of it. And my thing is, a lot of people who did not have, even if they had the opportunity, they don't necessarily know how to keep it or they don't know how to maintain it. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't something normal for you. So the fact that you have these beautiful things, you know, and a lot of them are, you know, I mean, I know you have things beyond just your basic needs, but you take very good care of them. You honor them, you know, and so that is something I feel like you should appreciate about yourself, you know, despite the challenges, because some people don't have that balance. They just go straight to the left, like, okay, I ain't had nothing, so I'm getting everything I didn't have when I was a kid, and you know, it becomes hoarding, you know.
Yeah. And for me, it was and I'm very specific. Like I can, because that was a question that the therapist asked. Like, are you just out here just buying because you didn't have? No, it's very specific with what you know.
That's
And
interesting.
I also had an issue of with the things that because I take care of everything that I have. When something breaks or something goes missing, oh my God, it's like a panic attack, anxiety sets in because it gives me that, it takes me back there to when I didn't have it. So it's like, oh my God, I lost it. Oh my God, and it's like she's like, you gotta realize you're not there anymore. This is not your life.
Right.
So it took a lot of work, and I've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
But I just needed to know. I was like, oh my God, why am I spending like this? Why am I buying like this? Until it was explained to me, then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't make the
right,
spending,
but the
I
understanding
why I was
helps.
doing
Yes,
it.
it gives you
Yes.
compassion. Yeah. And I just learned too that your brain doesn't realize that that trauma is not happening right now.
That's what the therapist
It
said.
just still thinks it's still happening, and that's why a lot of us are kind of stuck in those spaces, and we got to do some deep work. So yeah.
I mean, it was so bad that, and I'm still kind of that way. Like I won't go. And it's not just material things, like it's money, just money in general. Like my husband constantly gets on me, we don't go on vacations because I have that fear of we're going to run out of money. Like I have that fear, like I won't do anything. Matter of fact, prime example, when I buy, like one of the triggers for me is toilet paper, paper towels, soap, and toothpaste. You go in my house now and you would think it's Armageddon is tomorrow. And it's like, my mother-in-law would come. She's like, "Why do y'all have 18,484 rolls of paper towels and it's just two people?" That trauma. I know it's like embarrassing to walk across or next door. Can we have like that is and not, that, like I said, it's specific. It's not. I don't care what type of. It don't have to be a thing, but just having it. And then when I see we getting down to 5 rolls, I'm panicking.
Yeah.
Not realizing that you have the money now to go and get it. Calm down. But it's just that it's PTSD.
Yeah.
So it's so funny because I went to the store, I bought some. I couldn't get it in the closet. And I was like, well, why you you got a whole thing upstairs in the bedroom closet. I'm like, why is it up there? I was like, I don't know. Maybe we will have it for me. So I was like, and I go up there and it's tons.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, I know who to go see if she's okay with sharing when I need some tissue.
but it's
yeah.
I just it made me feel better because I was like, I have a problem.
Yeah. And you
But it's a
recognize that.
response.
Yeah.
It
a
is.
trauma response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's so
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Okay. You responded to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry. My brain. Okay. I guess because you said procrastination. So I guess to wrap it up on a positive note, how can you and Tamara kind of talked about how wanted to honor you. How do you honor yourself, recognizing, the beauty of who you really are, and how that person seeks to just come out and play and shine, in those moments you do see the real you, and how do you honor yourself even with the bad, how do you still honor yourself and be gentle and compassionate with yourself, with the procrastination and, the over, you know.
Meditation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deep breaths.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I would say for me, self-care.
Mm-hmm.
I try to. I used to be better, but now I've kind of slacked off. But um, massages.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just deal with anxiety like
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Yep.
Um, and I have to keep it at bay. And so I praise myself when knowing that I've gotten off of my routine because I used to go every other week. But now I'm like maybe once every 3 months, and I need to get back to help because that was one of my coping. Because I didn't want to do medication.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to find being a nurse, going to find a homeopathic way of how can I, with the help of God, heal myself without that. And so I praise myself because I haven't been on my regiment like I have, that I'm able to face and conquer the moments I'm having anxiety.
Yeah. That's good. And recognizing you need to get back on
Yes.
your track before it gets out of hand. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in the same place with you. I'm like, no disrespect to anybody who does medicine. I don't, because I know it is a biological thing as well. But just hoping to be able to stay in a path of healing that doesn't require that. And I think I realized that my greatest, weakness is just not being loving and compassionate enough towards myself when I'm not showing up the way I want to. So I think honoring myself looks like being more self compassionate and loving on myself and asking God to show me what that looks like because clearly there's a huge gap in my heart when it comes to that. So and maybe doing like you, take self care and a little bit of, meditating definitely, but that's my ultimate goal, is to be on that journey of just exercising more self compassion. Yeah. Well, thank y'all, ladies. Great insight. I love this conversation. And thank you for joining my segment. And remember to guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Hello. Welcome to the Nerds Corner. Come on in and get nice and snuggy while I get this thingamabobby, my thingamajigum, as what did Ariel call him? Thingamabobby. What did she call the? Never mind. Okay.
It's not on the top of my mind.
I'm trying to get my little things here. So, spring needs to come on. Come on.
We got a little taste
I
yesterday.
am over winter.
And me too.
I'm just ready for spring. I'm ready for spring because it's been a long winter.
Yes, it has.
So, a part of my segment is I have a question.
Uh-oh.
I know you guys enjoy these. I know you enjoy these too. And looking at cameraman's face, he enjoys them too. Okay. So, I have a couple of questions regarding spring. Okay. So if you don't know, this is fun. We're kind of relaxing from the first two segments because they were, I had to really dig deep for some answers. And it's like, y'all looking at me like, you're going to give me an answer. You ain't going to just settle with, I don't have one right now. But anyway, so my first question is, What is the first day of spring called? You know?
What is the first
Equinox.
day of spring called?
Anniversary.
Oh, it is y'all anniversary, but that's not the first day of spring. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Toya.
It was equinox, but
Yeah.
it's called vernal equinox.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were close.
Okay.
Okay. Around what day does spring begin in the northern hemisphere? So, like, what is the actual calendar date?
In the third week in March.
That's here, right?
Mm-hmm. Cameraman got it.
What?
March 21st.
Oh yeah.
Either March 20th, March 21st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which holiday does not which holiday does not occur during spring? Father's Day, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, or Mother's Day?
Father's Day.
Mhm. Well, none of the above.
No,
Because
everything
Father's
else.
Day is what, June?
Summer.
Oh wait a
Which
minute.
holiday does not
Oh yeah,
occur
Father's Day.
during spring?
Because Father's Day is June what?
June
Third Sunday.
16th, ain't it?
No, then because summer
Second
don't
Sunday.
actually start till like late June, I think. Right? I feel like cheating.
I think no.
Okay, what's the answer?
Huh?
Can I look it up? Can I look up when summer starts? Would that be
Yeah,
cheating?
you can look. No,
Okay.
you can look. Did you answer?
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Summer begin. Okay, let's see.
Let's see what the dot.
Wait, so summer begins Friday, June 20th, and Father's Day is what?
The 15th or the 16th.
So technically, Father's Day is a part of spring. Is in spring. Technically.
Okay, that's your final answer?
Yes, that is.
Okay, well, the answer is St. Patrick's Day.
Because
It's
it starts before
winter.
spring.
It's
Oh,
winter.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Duh.
He gave me a thumbs
What do
down.
you think this is?
Oh,
that was a
leprechaun.
That was a leprechaun. Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh.
Give me my gold.
You should have drew a rainbow.
Okay, next question. During the first day of spring, where does the sun rise and where does it set?
Oh, Lord.
Rises in the east. I don't know. Sets in the west.
This is so science class.
East west. East west.
What's wrong with science class?
Yeah,
Oh!
nothing at all.
No, this is so
It's
science
lovely.
Is it an
What'd you
open
say?
book test?
East west? You said east
Yeah, I
west?
think rises east. I think.
I'm gonna call up her answer.
You're right.
Okay.
Yes.
Because she loves
It's
science.
due east and due west. Okay, next question. What myth is associated with the first day of spring? Only on that day can you balance a raw egg on its end. Body hair doesn't grow on the first day of spring.
What?
You're most likely to get into a plane crash on the first day of spring. Only on that day can you see Saturn with a naked eye from anywhere in the US. So, which one of those myths are associated with the first day of spring?
I'm gonna say Saturn.
I was going to say the egg.
The most crazy one.
The egg is right.
Oh, wow.
Only on that
Of
day
course.
can you balance a raw egg on its end.
That is just.
But what's its end?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fat part? I don't know.
You think so?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I guess you gotta look and see which way the baby is in there.
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna do that?
But
at
I would. Okay,
pictures.
it has to be the fat part because of how babies are come out. The top would be squished the most. You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting pushed out.
No, this too technical.
That's not how a chick comes out when the egg hatches.
No, the egg. Wait, what?
We're talking about raw eggs.
Uh-huh.
And when the chicken, have you ever seen a hatchling? When it comes out the egg?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
No.
because it comes out the top.
What's the top?
The
The
point.
skinny, the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing.
Oh, you said the round part.
Yeah, that would be the bottom to me.
Well,
Not
they
the
come out
pointy.
the pointy part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
What does spring symbolize? Love, death, rebirth, or fate?
Rebirth.
Yay!
I
That's
finally got one
correct.
right.
Okay.
Baby making season.
Next question.
Mm-mm.
On the first day of spring, it is said that the day and night are exactly what length? 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night? 10 hours days or 14-hour nights? 16-hour days or 8-hour nights? Or 14-hour days and 10-hour nights?
Mm.
Was one, you said one was 8-hour nights?
I said 16-hour days and 8-hour nights.
And that's for what season again? Spring?
The first day of spring, on the first day of spring, it is said that the day and night are exactly what length on the first day of spring? You said it was the equinox.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same.
I would say, yeah. That's what I would say. Equal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
okay.
it's 12-hour days and 12-hour nights.
Okay.
Yep. I kind of gave you a hint on that.
I was
No.
like thinking about winter.
I was actually thinking about spring forward. I was like, is the days longer? But she is saying the first day, which means it must be a little bit different than,
yeah,
after
it's the
spring forward.
equinox
Okay.
because it's
Mhm.
the same
Okay.
day and night hours. Okay. Next question. Questione. Is spring considered the first, second, or third, or fourth season of the year? Is it first, second, third, or fourth?
Like for reals or what we say?
Real.
It should be the first
Why come?
because it's when everything starts blooming and
What say you, Doc?
I mean, we're going by our calendar. January is the first month of the year, which is still winter. So spring would be the second season.
Okay. Well, the correct answer is first.
Oh, okay. Explain why.
She did.
No.
because
Okay.
everything is starting and blooming and all that stuff.
Oh.
Rebirth.
Okay. Well, why is our new year not in the spring then?
It really is.
Clear people
Oh.
messed it up.
Well, he talked about me.
Right.
Okay, next question. For Australians, in what month does spring begin?
Same month. Maybe they're, yeah. I don't know if they're ahead of us or behind us. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Is this a
I'm bad
multiple
with
choice question?
geography is not my strong suit.
Well, I didn't learn this until I started following a couple that live in Australia on YouTube. And the seasons are backwards, so they actually have Christmas in the summertime.
Oh.
Oh wow.
So it's back. So they're about to go into winter as we're going into summer.
Wow.
Yeah. So it will be September, the quick answer.
Okay.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
brain wouldn't have been able to figure that one out.
Mhm.
And this is my last question. Why does daylight increase in spring? Because the Earth's axis is increasing its tilt towards the sun? Because the Earth doesn't spin as fast on its axis? Because the Earth is closest to the sun in its orbit? Or because the sun moves closer to the Earth in spring?
The axis.
I knew I should have
about
taught fourth grade.
That is not fourth grade. Tilted. The axis is tilted more.
More
I
where?
think towards the sun.
Okay, that's correct.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
That's
that
nice,
was
spring.
my little questions. I have a question about spring. I'm looking forward to spring. I know it's coming soon because from the old wives' tale, I seen a robin. And I seen it
Oh.
yesterday.
Oh.
So that means spring is coming. Do you guys
Okay.
believe in that?
Oh.
Or have you heard of that?
Well, I just heard about the groundhog. I didn't know about the robin.
Oh yeah, when you see a robin, spring is
Okay.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's all I have for
Oh,
the Nerds Corner.
Well,
okay.
thank you.
That was
Nice.
enjoyable.
Yes.
Oh, that was my fun fact too. The robin. You see one, spring is coming.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Here With Us.
And remember, healing is a process, so take it one day at a time.
And we are available across all social media platforms. Reach out to us, leave us comments. We love reading them, and we also respond to them as well. If you want to reach us by email, you can email us at healwithus3@gmail.com.
Here with us.
Here with us.